Marissa here, your relationship coach at Wild Heart Relationship Coaching. This video is about boundaries. I offer you 2 questions to ask yourself to see if maybe your boundaries are ready for some reevaluation. Stick around. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning back in. So like I said, today's video is all about boundaries. So because we live in a culture where it's like, boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Do you have good boundaries? Do you have clear boundaries? What are your boundaries with this person? Oh, set up boundaries. And of course, this is necessary, right? Boundaries are a beautiful, wonderful tool in relationships. However, sometimes there can be a rigid attitude around boundaries that really don't honor the growth that we do as people and that the other individual does as a person, right? So it's really important to recognize, like, okay, I'm growing as a person. Is there a way I can reevaluate my boundary with this person? They're also growing as a person. So let's tune into what they're doing to see if they're showing us any kind of growth so that we can, develop our relationship instead of having these rigid boundaries that just keep the relationship like where it's at. So, 2 questions. My first question is, how have I grown in the way that I treat others that I can apply with this person? So, in other words, what are some lessons that I've learned? What are some ways that I'm growing as an individual that help me see that other person differently? Okay. Question number 2 is there any recent behavior from that other person that I can highlight as their evidence of their growth? Okay. So, is there anything that this person has shown you in the last week, in the last month, that kind of is a clue, or you can actually like really highlight as their own personal growth, And it can be little baby steps, but that is how we learn and grow. It's baby steps, right? For most of us. So, it's important to honor that process for yourself and that other person so that we can bloom, so our relationship can bloom into something that makes us feel good, right? Because sometimes boundaries, they can be so rigid, it feels like sticky and icky and messy, and so the relationship just is that. And so when we are able to kind of reevaluate and see where we are in our own self and how we can view that person from our growth and development, that will help the relationship. Also, along with viewing that person's growth and seeing, like, okay, they're making progress. Maybe I can be flexible with this boundary. Obviously, we want to feel safe. So that's important as well. So those are my tips. Hope they've been helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Keep loving and living.